Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Hey family, how is everybody doing? Thank you guys for showing up. Today is March the 11th, you guys. It is Friday, and we're going to talk a little bit about the California City boys, Jacqueline and Trezell case. Well, trial or their indictment. Put it like that. Their indictment. Okay, good evening. I want to speak to everybody. Good evening. Let me see who's in the building. Okay, I'm just going to say hello. Mods, thank you guys for showing up. I see Sanja Watts. T-Star is in the building. Freddie Johnson is in the building. T-Star, Sanja Watts, and Woke the God is in the building. I am going to put the link in the chat. And because we're going to have Xan, she's been analyzing the indictment, you guys. We got the whole indictment. We're going to talk about it. If you guys came in, I told you we're not going to go over the hour. And so therefore, I'm just trying. I know it's a lot in the indictment, but there's just a certain part that I know you guys are going to want to talk about, because come next week, the only time that we will be able to talk about this case is if there's some update, some new information that we receive. Other than that, we will not be speaking on it every single day. Like it's kind of like, you've heard it. You probably heard it from this channel. You probably heard something from that channel. We're not going to bring in other subjects or information. We're going to stay on task. And so I'm hoping Xan will help us. She's going to be in here. Let me get this in here. Invite. Okay. I should have already had this, but yes, you guys, I've been running. And I told you I wasn't going to play no other things in commercial. Hey, Janice, she says, I'm driving. So everybody, like a lot of the things that we do just to get through the night, I'm sorry if I didn't say hello to everybody. I'm glad that you guys are here. I appreciate every last one of you. I really, really do. But we're going to get right into business today, because I want you guys to hear what this indictment is saying. And if you didn't read it and analyze it for yourself, it tells a lot of stuff. It tells a lot. So let me see which one. Okay, hopefully we can hear her.
Can you hear me, SP?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hold on. I want to pull this indictment up.
Okay. You want me to pull it up on my end too? Uh-oh. It's not over there. Uh-oh. She bailed out. While she's bailing out, Diane Harris, good evening to you. Latina, good evening. Twin in O, good evening to you. Twin in O. Leo, good evening to you. Sugar Mama, I see you in the building. Lisa Taylor, Phyllis D. Hart, good. I'm glad you in here. Zena, good morning or good evening. I'm so used to saying good morning to everybody. So we're going to go over this infamous good evening to you. Let me pull it up too as she's pulling hers up. That way, oh man. Okay, it's right here. I'm glad. Oh, okay, I got it right here. I wanted to take snapshots of it, but so the first page, I can tell you guys right now, on the first page, it's just giving the attorneys' names, their address, city and state, their telephone number, which is good. And that Cynthia Zimmer is the district attorney. Okay, you there?
I'm here.
Okay. And so this is the Supreme Court of California, County of Kern, Metropolitan Division. This is state against the people of the state of California against Trezell West and Jacqueline West. Okay. And that's all it says. The First Amendment indictment. That's what the
Okay.
first. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm gonna see if it's gonna let me flip between the two. Okay, it does. I think
Well, do
it
you
does.
got notes or do you want me to read it?
I've got because I didn't take notes on the whole. I took notes, but I didn't write the whole
Okay.
indictment down. But I've got it. Okay, so it says on or about September the 1st, 2020 through September the 30th, 2020, Trezell West and Jacqueline West did with malice, aforethought, murder, Orion West, a human being, in violation with the Penal Code Section 187, second degree murder, which is a felony. It is further alleged that the above offense is a serious felony within the meaning of the Penal Code section.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So, just that right there.
What? We can't hear you. We cannot hear you, Zan. You went out. Okay. You probably want to jump out and jump back in. We cannot hear you. That right there tells. Okay, we can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. It's probably not going to let me go back and forth. Okay, so
Okay.
that right there is a mouthful.
It is.
And it says with malice. I'm sorry, read that again for me, SP, so I don't have to go back.
Okay. It says on or about September the 1st, 2020 through September the 30th of 2020, Trezell West and Jacqueline West did with malice.
Stop right there. Stop
Okay.
right there. Okay, so we're just breaking down this one charge. The word malice breaks down into wrongful intentions, especially in cases of guilt with certain offenses. Wrongful intention especially increases guilt of certain offenses. That's what malice means in the state of California.
So
Wrongful intention especially increases guilt of a certain offenses.
it increases it.
Yes. So
So
we're going to look at the highest end of the spectrum on second degree murder.
okay. Okay.
Now, everybody keeps saying, why didn't they charge him with first degree murder, which would be the premeditated part?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is what the DA did. He didn't just charge him with malice, but he charged him with malice, a forethought.
That's what I was looking at, a forethought.
Which means premeditation or predetermination.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that was the way that the DA got around charging him with first degree murder, but this carries the exact same weight because they're putting the most on it. So it's going to go to the highest end of the spectrum.
Okay. Yeah, when they
So
say
then
the
I'm sorry,
forethought
go ahead.
means the forethought meaning that it was premeditated.
Yes. Yes.
Premeditated, planned. So and this is talking about the count one on the murder charge. It was
That's
premeditated
correct.
or
Yeah.
planned. That is a problem to me. If you plan something or you premeditate it, that's weird on these two children.
Which makes me wonder, is this something that happened on a regular occasion?
Like, yeah, could it happen before, or did y'all plan to get some money, but you planned it, or you premeditated, like, oh, we're gonna do this. It wasn't an accident.
Right. It wasn't just something that suddenly happened and they panicked, didn't know what to do, and hid the bodies. That's not the case.
Okay. But it could be, okay, you know what? I'm gonna put you in this freezer to discipline you. Okay, that could be planned because I'm saying it. And then to do bodily harm, and then they couldn't take it or whatever. And
the thing you have to remember is that it speaks about the violence.
yeah, malice.
Right.
Okay.
So you did something very horrific to these children.
Okay. Phyllis says, shouldn't that be capital murder? Uh-oh. She's off in there. Somebody says money is the motive. Wow. Okay. Xan is out. She'll probably be coming back in. There she is.
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay. So
somebody said, should that be capital murder?
yes.
I would think it was capital murder. I was very surprised that they didn't charge them with capital murder.
Or first degree.
Right. But when I went in and read the statute in the California Department of Law, which are very, very lengthy, with all of these subclauses that they have added to this charge, they have enhanced it. And they're making sure that the way that they're writing it out enhances it to the utmost degree, which would be life, with no possibility of parole or the death penalty. Right. Either one of those could be given in these charges.
Okay. And let's make this clear that in both cases, Trezell and Jacqueline, they got charged the same thing. So we don't have to read the others because it's the same as this one. So when we're talking about them, we're talking about both of them. They got the same charges, right?
exact same charges for Orson and Oren, and I did look at that today because I wanted to see if like maybe you did something violent to one of the kids, and then you got scared that the other one was going to tell, and you just took him out.
So that
But
tells you neither one of them has said anything about the other because neither one's got a lesser charge.
right, but it's still early in the case now. It's
Right,
still very early in the case.
right. It's still early, but when you see that change, this is why we're trying to talk about it now because when the gag order is on there for them, so we're not going to hear a lot, so we can't really like you can get in a lot of trouble, but
Right.
we're not going to go there. But
Oh,
if
I'm just waiting because they've already asked for uh, the judge to extend the gag order as far as possible.
exactly.
And I felt like without saying that, they're trying to say social media.
Well, you do know that we spoke to a person. Well, I spoke to a person that had told us or told me that when they had invited these children in the West to the birthday party, uh, the boys wasn't there, and that was September, right? I think it was like the
Right.
11th to 15th of September or something, and they asked Wanda, where was the babies? And she said they were sick. I'm pretty sure that person is a gonna be a witness.
Witness.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Now, because that wasn't on the original gag order, I
Right.
watched that today. And so they went back and did an addendum to include the witnesses in this gag order. And they're still trying to see how much further they can extend it.
Okay. Okay, let's go into but I'm pretty sure they're gonna go into the witness because they're not even gonna want their family to speak on it.
Right. They've already added the witnesses. And whoever that is, I don't know what Rara looks like, but whoever that is, light skinned with the long braids, that's speaking on behalf of the family, um, they said that they're very glad that there's a gag order.
That was Roro.
Okay, Roro. Yeah, see, I've never seen her. Wasn't really sure what she looked like, but apparently she's the official spokesperson
Right. She's been there
for the
from day one.
family.
She's
Right.
been there from day one. And I think, you know what? I think they did really good by having a spokesperson. And that some people can see a person, you know what I'm saying? If the family, devastated behind the situation, they had one particular person that they wasn't stumbling over their word, they wasn't going back and forth because you can catch a person up if one person saying one thing and another person saying
Another
another.
person says
So when
another
they
thing.
had
Yeah.
her, they were that was very strategic for the family to do it that way, to so it wouldn't show because people sometimes can look guilty and they're not guilty, it's just that's the way it
Yes.
is. And
Yes.
so this way they could keep it more under control of the riffraff. So that was good.
What's
And
being said, how it's being said, what
right,
information was given out. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
right. And they picked a really good person on that. Okay, so you want me
Yeah.
to read the circumstances in the aggravation?
Yes, please.
Okay. It says it is further alleged that the defendant Trezell West and Jacqueline West committed a crime that involved great violence, threat of great bodily harm, or other acts disclosing a high degree of cruelty, maliciousness, or callousness with the meaning of California Rules of Court 4.42.1.
Right.
They use
And
a lot.
that's what I was talking about. They specified that this act was extremely violent.
Oh my
Like
God.
they're not mincing words when it comes to this indictment. They want whoever is reading it to understand that this was extremely, extremely brutal against these two children. Horrific.
Right. I'm gonna read us a little bit in the chat. So Sharon says, but can you convict someone in circumstantial evidence?
Can you convict someone on circumstantial evidence? Yes. And it has been done previously across the United States in several cases. I've seen something different than the information that we were given the other day.
Exactly.
I've seen that there have been 10 nobody cases. And actually, it wasn't Kern County, it was LA County, and that they had prosecuted in 7 of them.
Oh, so they had 10 and they prosecuted 7. That's still good.
Yes.
Good. Okay, because
That's
I
very
knew
good.
when somebody came
And
in.
I'm expecting that LA County is where that trial is going to end up.
It could.
Because it's big enough for them to get a jury pool that's not going to be familiar with the case
Okay.
as readily as Kern County.
I'm going to read that one more time because it is so important that everybody get these words in their mind. It says, it is further alleged that the defendants, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, committed a crime that involved great violence, threat of great bodily harm, or other acts disclosing a high degree of cruelty, viciously, or callousness with the meaning of California rule of court. I wonder what ruling is.
Now, I had a question on that. And my question was, did that sentence go with one charge or with several charges? Because while I can understand the great violence, when it talks about the threats, who are they threatening? Were they threatening the boys? Or were they threatening the minor that supposedly participated?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they're talking about the disclosing part.
Right.
Disclosing a high degree of cruelty. Disclosing. That means not telling people. I mean, this is something that's been going on and on and on, treating these children bad. This is not a one-day thing. And that's why they say it was premeditated. They did this all the time. It was just like eating, making breakfast to them.
Exactly. I totally agree with you, SP.
Okay. So
and anybody else that's welcome to come up here, as long as we keep it to an hour.
Yeah, we got to keep it an hour. There's just one part I really want to get to. It's really the only part I really, really want to get to, and I haven't seen it yet, but let me see. It says, the next part says, it is further that the victim, Orrin West, let's say Orrin and Orson, you guys, because we're talking about both children. We're not going to read the other one because each child has his own case. You guys understand that?
Right.
So, but the same is provided for each child. It is further that the victim, Orrin West and Orson West, I'm adding that in there just to let you guys know, was particularly vulnerable within the meaning of California rule of court. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's going to help the family.
Definitely.
You think so?
And oh, definitely. And the vulnerability, there was a list of things in the state of California that make a person vulnerable. And being a minor was only one of them.
Right. They
The
had to go where
fact
they
that
were
they were
safe.
adopted children and the violence and or the acts were committed against them by people that were quote unquote parental figures is a second reason
Right.
that would make them vulnerable. But also, with one of those children has a hearing deficit,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure if that's the same child that had the issue with his femur when they initially got taken.
Mm-hmm.
But if he has any kind of a limp or any type of a situation that could consider him uh, handicapped or disabled in any type of way,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a third vulnerability.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I want everybody to know that this is the page two that a lot of people don't have. They don't have this page two.
So
Um,
everybody's speculating what it says.
yeah. Okay. So you want me to read the next one?
Mm-hmm.
This is the circumstances in ag- uh aggravation again. All of them is that, but it says it is further alleged that the defendant Trezell West and Jacqueline West indeed induced, I'm sorry, let me blow it up a little bit. Induced, let me start over. This is what I'm waiting on. It is further alleged that the defendant Trezell West and Jacqueline West induced others to participate in the commission of the crime or occupied a position of leadership or dominance of other participants in its commission within the meaning of California Rule of Court 4.42.
Yeah, that's a lot right there.
Wow.
So
They induced. That means they were like, you better help. And I'm
it's almost
believing,
like a threat.
yeah, others to participate in the commission of the crime
So
and
the word
occupy a position of leadership.
bring
So
about, right,
so that tells you maybe he was like, y'all in the army, and you're the general, you're the soldier, I'm the president. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm
right,
dad, so you will do it because he's the leader of this, whatever they was getting ready, they were gonna do.
right. And the word induce has a couple of different meanings, and so I'm wondering how they're using it here. It can mean to succeed in persuading or influencing someone to do something, like you're
Right.
manipulating the kids to do it for some reason, or you could threaten them to do something, or it also means I'm sorry, I just lost my page that quick. There we go. Um I'm sorry, I lost my page. Go ahead, OSP.
Okay. So on that situation, um, the next one is circumstantial. aggressive. It says it is further alleged that the defendant Trezell West and Jacqueline West took advantage of a position of trust or confidence to commit the offense within the meaning of California Rule of Court 4.4. I wonder what that.
Right. What that means, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you go back to the word induce, and I lost my page for a second, the fourth meaning of that word is to derive by inductive reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give you an example. Let's say there's two children playing, and one child's playing with another child's toy, and the toy ends up broken. You didn't see the child break the toy, but I'm going to tell you that that's who broke your toy. And I'm going to make a big deal about it. Like, what you going to do? You just going to let him break up your toys like that? Until I manipulate that child into a place where they feel like they have to defend whatever. You see, it's not so much that you're telling them to do it, but you can manipulate and create a situation that induction by when it says to induce it to induce when it says to induce it from experimental evidence or derived by inductive reasoning, that's another word for manipulate, to manipulate. So you could have manipulated the older child or one of the older children or all of the older children to do something that wasn't right. You know, to be abusive against these boys.
Okay.
And they would think that they're doing the right thing because this is what they've been taught. Or you go back to where it says that they were, where it talks about the violence and it talks about the threat of violence.
Okay.
The one that you read before that,
Mm-hmm.
where it talks about that, you could be threatening these kids if they don't react in this manner that you want them to, that it's going to happen to you. Like, it's very easy to manipulate a child, and he already had this militaristic mindset. So God only knows how he was raising those boys. And it's very interesting that they only had boys, like a little army platoon or something. He could feel like what he's doing is making them tougher.
You know, I was reading the California Rule of Court because it keeps stating this code, California Rules of Court 4.42, 4.41, and it's the aggressiveness. They're saying one part of the aggressiveness is committing the crime in front of other children. Also, that code itself too. That means
So
those
just the act of doing it in front of them. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's what that code means. Doing it in front of of children, doing it in front of other children. So, see, sometimes you got to read these codes because they look like they're the same, but it might be one number off because it says 4.421, and then it says A1, and then it says 4.42A4. So I can
there's
pull
quite a
that
few
up.
addendums to it.
Yeah, I can pull that up and then it tells me. But I mean, it's a whole list of things that you can go, okay, that one. Okay, that one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay.
And I feel like they definitely, I know that it took I think you told me it took 3 months for them to complete this indictment.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that they did their homework in stacking the deck and made sure that they found almost every charge that they could charge him with.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, I'm glad that they didn't charge him with first degree, because I've heard, and I know that it has to be true because I heard it more than once, that they rather charge him with a lesser charge and be more comfortable with it than a higher charge, and then they found not guilty.
Right.
Now, the thing about that, some people don't understand. When you go to prison, you're going to prison. Now, whether it's for life or 50 years, you're in there, you're going to die in there. Them saying double life or 2 life sentences, you can only
mean anything. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The only thing that something like that would change would be like your classification once you're in prison.
Cynthia Gatewood is in the house, and she's saying California Rule 4.4 is the right of a third person. Okay. Well, there's more to it, Cynthia. You got California Rules of Court 4.4 21A4. Then you have California Rule of Court 4.4 21A8. And what was we reading there?
We were reading 4.4A, I thought.
Yeah.
I can't pull them up on this phone because every time I go to change it, it kicks me out.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move along here. It says count 2, the penal code section of 187 murder. Everybody know 187 means murder. On or about, let me see. Okay, this is page 3. On or about September the 1st, 2020 through September the 30th, 2020, Trezell West and Jacqueline West did with Malice. This is the same thing. Hold on.
So is that for the other child?
They word a little bit different. It's the same thing. 2nd degree murder, a felony. It is further alleged that the above offense is a serious felony within the meaning of the penal code. Let me see. Committed a crime that involved great. Yeah, it's just saying the same thing over again.
Right, the malice and the forethought, correct?
Yeah. Let me read this in. Induce others. Okay. So 3 is the same thing as 2. Okay, let me go to 4. Advantage of a position, same thing. The willing for, okay. Here's one. On or above about September the 1st through September the 30th, Trezell West and Jacqueline West did willingly harm or endanger or, and I'm using and or sin, a human being in violation of penal code, which is a felony. So this is the endangerment. This is the endangerment, you guys, that they don't have to go and say, okay, we're going to charge you with endangerment. In this penal code, the endangerment is there. So that's a guarantee because we don't know where the children are at. So, yeah, they put them in danger if you're going to tell me that you left them outside. And not only that, we don't even believe that. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to have to.
So do you think that the endangerment is from where you left the boys outside, or is the endangerment back to where you talked about where they committed these acts in front of the other children?
I think the endangerment is what the children is saying. But the good thing about it is, even if it wasn't that, and they're talking about when he made the alleged 911 call, you endangered him when you left him outside and you went in the house. And then when you said you go look for him, you didn't look over here. You went down the street, made hit these corners.
I really hope that they bring that up.
Huh?
I really hope that they bring that up in trial. Because, I mean, and we noticed, we really watched where he went and how he did. And everywhere, he basically just went behind the house. You know, the camera was able to catch him pretty much 80% of him looking for the boys. The camera was able to catch that van
Right.
going through the street. So where did you stop and come in contact with the man and ask him, did you see a little black boy? Where was that?
Right.
You know,
Phyllis
I'm
is
sorry, go
saying
ahead.
the endangerment would have to be way before the call. The call is the false endangerment. Well, it's not saying, I'm just saying it's not saying it was the call, or it could be
Well, it
other
wouldn't be the call
situations
that would
too.
be endangerment, right? It wouldn't be the call.
No, before the call.
Right. Yeah, it would definitely have to be before the call. The endangerment's either going to be you endangering the boys or you endangering the other children
Yeah.
or all of them
Hmm.
because you're in the position of you're over them.
Okay, there's a couple of them that is the same, and I just think they're wrapping it all in together. But here's one: circumstances in aggressive. It is further alleged that the defendant Trezell West and Jacqueline West threatened with an ED witnesses, unlawfully prevented or disallowed witnesses from testifying.
Mm. So you threatened the kids and you told them you better not say anything because if you do,
wait, hold on, it's still some more. And submerged perjury or in any way alleged illegal interfered with the judicial process within the meanings of California. So, yeah, they threatened witnesses. See, there had to have been other people.
those kids are witnesses.
But they didn't have the kids.
When this occurred.
So they were probably going to go visit those kids.
No, even if you threatened them beforehand,
okay,
and said, you better not say nothing about this. Somebody asks you where your little brothers is, you just tell them they're sick. And you better not say nothing. Or the same thing that happened to them will happen to you. I can just imagine Trezell threatening them. Like, even like when he took the kids to his mom's house, if anybody asked you where your little brothers are, or when did you say that the kids went to that lady's party, but the boys weren't with them?
Right. Oh, Lord, something just happened. Hold on. Oh, great. What is going on? Okay, I got it back. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Yeah, those kids, the bigger kids went to the party and the little ones was not there.
Right. So that, if someone would ask you at the party, well, where's your little brothers at? I'm sure that they had already had a pep talk and probably been threatened that you better not say anything. Just say they're home with mom and dad, they didn't feel good, or whatever. And they would threaten them. just like in the old days when our family used to say something like, what happens in this house stays in this house.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be out there telling people my business. And thank God that's a generational curse that nowadays is being broken, because there were some serious secrets that families had kids keeping,
Exactly. Yeah.
within the home, within the family.
Okay. We got two more to go on.
You're right, Candy. You would think that they would have a better story, but I
Tell
don't
me
think they really thought this out. Candy,
yeah, go ahead.
I just don't think they thought it out, SP, that you're going to have to go in front of the news and all these people are going to bombard you with questions, and I don't think they were expecting that.
Right. I see you in the house, Judy. Um, let's hit these last two, like hitting them corners, like he said. Oh, he made me mad when he said that. This is circumstances in the aggressiveness, you guys. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, that the manner the crime was carried out indicates planning, sophistication, and or professionalism.
See,
Whoa.
so there's your premeditation right there without
Planning,
charging you at first degree.
sophistication, and or professionalism.
Like a hitman. And you kept those kids so secluded that nobody would know if one was missing or not,
Right.
because nobody's seen them.
But when they say that word professionalism, what do you think?
I think that they're talking about Trezell's military training,
Okay.
um, because he's been taught to kill. Um, from from what I was able to see from on Trezell's Twitter, like he's almost like an idiot savant. You know those people that are so smart that they're crazy?
Mm-hmm.
That's Trezell.
Okay.
Like he's very, very intelligent in his wording when he writes, when he speaks, but it's way out there. Like it's way out there.
Okay. We've got Light in the house. She's asking, I thought he didn't stay in the military. Did he not stay in the military? I don't believe he stayed in there.
He may not have stayed in there, but he was in there for a period of time.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know I've got a play son and he was in the military. And when he went, and this is the army part, when he went, he didn't sign up for 20 years or the 10 years. He was like, he did a couple of years and he was like, well, mom, I'm going to stay another 4 years. But then 2 years came, he was like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And he just backed on out. And I mean, he did his couple of years. But I
Right.
can't remember, did he just leave the military? I don't remember. If he left the military,
Well,
they gave him up.
he's not getting any kind of disability, because that would have been one of the first things that you would have put down as a source of income.
Yeah, but didn't he get on that loan on the house? Wasn't that loan had something to do with his military to get that loan. There was two different things that came up on the loan because they paid big time for that house.
Well, did he get a veterans loan on it?
He got
I can't remember.
I can't either, but I believe I remember one of the loans had something to do with the military.
Okay.
Tammy
called,
said no military loan.
Oh, he didn't.
Tammy
I'm
said
not
no.
sure. I can't remember, in all honesty. But I do remember about that loan was that when he put down his income, the same thing that he put for Kern County, his income consisted of $200 a month from his music. I don't know how that was enough for even the people to release the kids in your care. Because between the two of them, their income didn't even seem to be enough to sufficiently take care of them and their two children.
Okay,
Let alone taking on another four.
Batcave said he tried for the military loan, but it didn't go through.
Okay.
And then someone said he was in boot camp he was just there for the basic training.
Okay. Well, that's all you need to learn killing techniques.
You know what? I'm just so happy that the family is taking it. You know, they finally, I guess they got some attorneys to help them, because for them to hand those kids over to them and they didn't have income, they didn't have no income. That was a no-no.
Exactly.
You don't give somebody some kids and they ain't got no income, you might as well just go hand them to a crackhead somewhere.
And basically, that's what they did.
That's what they did. Now, the kids, they going to give them money. And oh, my God. I just don't even like to relive the idea of what happened. That's basically what they did.
Yeah. Their drug of choice was methamphetamine, but a drug is a drug.
Exactly. Irene is saying, no, he tried for a USDA loan, but ended up getting a FHA loan. There was never a military loan.
Okay. I'm not sure which loan he got, so.
Yeah. It don't really matter. It's just I know I seen where they had applied. I didn't know where the money came from.
Because they were able to get that loan with no co-signer, correct?
Right.
Nobody else is on that house?
Okay. Here's the last one. Count 5. The Penal Code Section 148.3A. On or about December the 21st, 2020, that's the day that the alleged report was made, Trezell West and Jacqueline West did falsely report an emergency in violation of Penal Code Section 148.3, a misdemeanor. And that's a misdemeanor.
Right. But they've got to have proof somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They have proof of life before September and none after September.
Right.
For those boys. Either they were seen at an appointment or a visit. There's a reason that they gave that very specific date. That month.
Right. And I think, like, and this is just me thinking that every last one of these counts is in case, like, if they cannot prove that the children are deceased with no body, then pretty much all of these counts are going to go away because you can't prove there was a false emergency call. You probably can prove some abuse if one of the children say this happened or that happened, but that's
But,
hearsay. That's
well, it
hearsay.
wouldn't be hearsay by the child that lived in the house,
Right,
because he would be a witness to it.
right. If anybody want to come up on the panel and ask questions or call in and chat, we read the whole thing. That's without reading it double. Nobody wants to read it 2 or 3 times. I mean, they repeat it because there's
Right,
two
the charges are exactly the same.
and there's 2 children. So you're probably gonna see it 4 times, but it's only but like 4 things you really need to go over. And if you got any questions, you can call in, you guys. Thank you for putting that number up there. And if you don't have the number, here you go. So what do you think about this? Oh, somebody then came up. Oh, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Get involved. Hey, Lakendra, how's it going?
Hi, everything's okay. I'll probably need to talk to you later again, but I heard everybody in the chat is doing well. This is high. At least we have them in handcuffs.
I can't hear
That's
you.
a good. Oh, I'm sorry. At least we have them in handcuffs. So that's
Yes.
the start of a good sign. But even though I knew from the beginning, like they were guilty someone right, just to hear what the kids could have did or what they had to intake on their own and bear with. I agree with Dan. How are you today? And
I'm
I
doing pretty
believe
good,
it
Kendra.
took a
Yourself?
while of being away from the parents. And you know how after a minute it becomes like your parents will program you a certain way, and they
You're real
took their
muffled.
time.
Lakendra, you're real muffled. I can't understand nothing you're saying.
Everybody's saying that, and this is the new tablet I'm on too, actually. So I'm sorry. Can you hear me better here right now? Can
Can
you
you?
hear me better?
A little.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to move around and find out where the mic actually is so you can hear me. But yeah, I think it took a minute from programming and deprogramming those kids to where I think they were put in the position like y'all did it, y'all gonna go to jail, not us. And all of that broke down after a while, and they became more comfortable with talking, and they told it all, I believe, just by 12 jury in any box. Once those kids' testimonies and they walk out there and go on them stand, I believe that's going to seal the deal. But at the same time, we still yelling, where are the boys? We want to find our boys. We want to bring them home. Is it a way that we could come together and everybody pitch in a certain amount of money and put a bench somewhere in a park? Even when I don't sign with Ryan Dean on how you lost them, a place anybody can come and sit down and think, and be enlightened. And I have so many thoughts, but those
Right.
were the basic ones.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
And I'm sorry, I'm so muffled, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump down. But
It was
yeah,
good to
the
talk to
biggest
you,
thing for
Kendra.
me, thank you so much. And the rest of the family, y'all all stay prayed up and blessed up.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Sam, we got one more phone call. Call here.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello. I think it was a continuous action on those parts, Jarrell and his wife, because there's another mother that had two sons that were adopted by them, and she was on TV wanting to know where was her two sons at.
Right.
So I'm like, it's not just this case. Seemed like they had continuous. This is how they lived.
But okay, even when she asked the question of where her kids were at on the news, okay, her kids was taken, right?
Yes.
Taken, and it went through the DHS, SA, and they adopted him out to Jarrell and his wife.
Okay.
And those kids came up missing.
Right. But do you not? Okay, so this is the problem. When you lose your rights to your children, you lose rights to your children. They don't really even have to answer that question to her. But what I'm saying, I'm just being just, I know that sound rude and stuff, but they don't have to say, yeah, your kid is they don't have to say anything because you have no rights. And
that's why she asked for the right of life. She has the right to know whether they're alive or dead. So she asked them the right to life.
and you know what? And then did they answer her?
They won't say until this is over with.
And then somebody was in the channel the other I think it was Wednesday, and I think they said that she got her answer from somebody that's out there, told her that her kids are okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that, but
Yeah.
that's good to hear.
Right.
Yo, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we got one more person that's came up here, and this is the infamous Truth Teller. Go right ahead. Infamous, we can't hear you.
I'm just invested in the case. I just got to come up every time that we just talk
Okay,
about the voice.
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just passionate about it. I just think that I don't know. I mean, there's a lot that could have happened, and we don't know everything. But I think that they traumatized. I think those kids seen something, or they intimidated them. There's a possibility that they're just so arrogant, thinking they were going to get off because they maybe it made the kids hurt them. Like you better, you do it. Like how you said, like the army kind of thing. Like you're the sergeant, I'm the president, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that's what he did. That's just speculation, but there's no telling what he could have done. What they could have done. But it says that there's minors involved, and so that's just there's more than one person that knows what happened. More than him and Jacqueline. That's for sure.
You're right. The
That's
fact
all I
that
know.
they did not release those children to a family member says volume.
Right.
It speaks
Right.
volume.
Yeah, and then Wanda was giving those riddles to the protesters or the people that were going over there and asking questions. She's like, "You got it right, but you don't got it right, but you got it right." Like she said some kind of riddle to them, and it's always
Right.
kind of made everybody ponder. Like why would you say that to me? And then there was just the two fires that they had in the yard. That one of the other creators had asked the neighbor to go on the property on their property, and they took a picture, and there was like a big dark spot and with a van seat. And it's just now that you look at it, now that they indicted him, and you look back in hindsight and you start re-looking, and you're catching a lot of things that you knew it was off already. You knew that all this stuff was just wacky, just didn't, it was all lies. But it all starts to kind of add up now when you kind of look back at it now, and you kind of know a little bit of what what we know now. It makes sense. A lot more makes sense, and a lot more that I think that we didn't see because we were just so dumbfounded by how you know what I mean? The way they presented themselves when they were, you know, supposed to be pleading for the boy's return, you know? So I don't know. It's just sad,
Well, I
and it's
think a
just
lot
sad
of
because
us,
all these kids, all these kids' lives are affected, you know? And,
right.
you know, it's just sad. It's just permanent, you know, that's some permanent damage if they don't get them some, you know, some good therapy and, you know.
All of them's gonna need some therapy.
Hmm.
Infamous, you said that you had the information about the house loan.
Well, I was on a live with the owner of the house, the original owner of the house. She was on a live a while back when this case first began, and I was actually on the panel with her, and she was just explaining how they went and they looked at the house. She kind of had a feeling about it, but she said some of the things that they did, the way they conducted themselves, they didn't stay when the building inspector came. They didn't really ask too many questions. She said that when they first initially, whatever loan they got, I don't know specifically, I'm not a mortgage broker, but whatever first loan that they applied for, I guess it was the military loan or whatever they thought they were going to get, they didn't get. And so the owner of the house, she said, I had to stay in a hotel. And this is from her, coming from her. She said, I had to stay in a hotel because I moved to Arizona, but she had to stay for almost 3 weeks waiting for them to figure out another way to get that house financed. So, like, you know, so she said I was up in the air because, like, she moved out and then she's over there in limbo waiting for waiting for all these papers and stuff. She goes, and she started crying because she was upset. She's, I feel so bad because if I would have known that, you know what I mean, something like this would have happened, she's, I would have never even considered selling them that house, she said. She was so upset. But other than that, I just wanted to chime in because I'm just passionate about these boys, man. You know, they just deserve justice, regardless what kind of justice it is. Like, they just deserve justice, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well, I appreciate you. Is there anything else you want to share, Infamous True?
no, I just want to share that that I care. You know, I've been following all this since the very beginning, and I know everybody has. And you know, I did a little video, and on one of the little pictures I put on my video on my channel saying, you know, you have a lot of people that love you, and we still do, and that will never change. And now we're not going to lose strength because it's just the beginning. You know what I mean? We have to make sure that these beautiful boys get justice, you know?
Yeah.
All right, love. I just wanted to chime in.
All righty. Thank you.
It was good
All right.
speaking with you, Infamous.
You too, love. I'm sorry I talked over you. I didn't mean to. It was my
Oh,
apologies.
no problem. No problem.
Okay, Xan, you want to roll us out of here. What is our last thoughts? What is your last thoughts about going over this? Because I know you spent a lot of time looking up all this information and analyzing it. What do we get
I
out of it?
think anybody that really wants to understand the indictment better, I spent all afternoon getting caught up in reading each of those penal codes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very long, and they're at a whole nother level. Like, I was finding myself having to look up at least one or two words to just get a good understanding of what they were saying
Right.
and what they were meaning. But if there's any doubt or any question as to whether or not the crimes that they are trying to persecute are horrific, I think that when you look at the wording and the codes that they're using, there's no doubt.
You know, I think they're going to be found guilty. Because here's the thing, you get in front of 12 or 13. It usually be 13, it'd be one off, so it won't come up, you know, whatever. But
Right, the
you get in
ultimate.
front of 12 to 13 jurors, and you got two defendants. Now, it all depends if they're going to try them together or not. But you got two defendants, and I think they're going to try them together. Why? Because you want to show that this is just not one person. It was a collective agreement towards both of them to shut up. Because if
And
you
I
try
think the only way that they won't be tied together is if they're able to get one or the other to testify against that one,
Right.
the other one.
And that's why I like that when I see their names is together. It says Trezell and Jacqueline. And I'm like, okay, I think they're going to try these together. And people are going to look and say, you guys had no money. You adopted these kids. You were living off of them. You should go to jail just for that.
Exactly.
You wanted to make money off of them, which is fine because people babysit, and that's fine. People do adopt kids and foster kids for money. That's okay. But look, you're really not supposed to get these kids unless you can provide for them. And you guys had no provision except from them.
That's correct.
And
And
that
one
right there
thing that I
shows you that you had intent. And you know what? If they really wanted to go further, they can. I guarantee you, there's some lying going on to get them kids. Because if you can't sit there and say, "I got no income," your income
right,
is not those kids' income. Even if you foster those kids, that's not an income to you. That's for the kid.
exactly, SP, and that's what I was gonna say. I spent like an hour today trying to see if California, where they're at in that new law, because they're passing a law now, state by state, that CPS can be sued and they can be charged criminally. We just had a CPS worker here in Pennsylvania that was sentenced to prison because she just took a whole bunch of her caseload and threw it out because they were overwhelmed.
Right.
And they just charged her criminally. And at this point, that particular bill hasn't even came up for the vote in California. Because I feel like if they really investigated Kern County, everything was not done above board.
Right.
And I hope that out of this, one of the things that comes out of this is that they do get a thorough investigation of what they're doing there in Kern County. Like, how could you even give someone with no income, not enough income to take care of themselves and their own children, for additional children? How could you do that?
When I see them both in court, Jacqueline's over there looking at Trezell like, like, you big dummy. But she's just looking. You know what? I think she's gonna. I don't even think. I think she can turn and go, hey, look, you on your own. Our kids is taken, our lives is gone. I didn't do it. You did it. You need to tell him. If you don't tell him, she got no contact with him, which is good because now
Right.
the weakest link will drop. And I don't think she's that strong. She tried to be strong, because she had him there, and he's sitting there like, because I guarantee you know what? She's very weak. She's very, very weak. And her in prison, she is a weak woman. I want to say
neither one of them are built for it. Neither one of them are built for neither one of them are built for prison.
Exactly.
Neither one of them.
And I know prison is not like it used to, like people's like, this is going to happen to them. That's going to happen to them. Yeah, they're going to have a hard time because people don't forget what you did, what got you in here. And a lot of mothers going to be in there, and they're going to be like, anytime that she gets out of line, they're going to be very angry with her because they don't get to see their kids because of something stupid they did. But you done killed somebody else's, or allegedly killed somebody else's child. And that's why you in here. So she's going to have a hard time. Even if she got to do one day, she's going to have a hard time.
Definitely. Because I'm sure that right now they are in protective custody. I don't believe that they would be in general population.
She's very weak. She's very weak. You can look at people and tell she's very weak. He's weak. He's a weak Lincoln man, and she's weak too. When she's sitting there, y'all, you know what? That chick would have had one. You know what? If that was my, I'm just telling you, I would have went to jail that day. I would have
Oh
went to
yeah.
jail. She wouldn't have never came talking about y'all this. Let me tell you, I would have went to jail and I would have just, you know what? Baby, you know what? My child is missing. They would have had to hold me. And you know what? She couldn't have walked them streets. She just couldn't have. And I'm telling you, you know, sometimes you
The
can't.
way she was disrespectful to the family
She
at
was
that
so disrespectful.
briefing, that news briefing. The only thing I think that saved her was the fact that the police were there.
Exactly. That's why she sat there. She wanted them to get all excited and everything. So she said,
Yeah.
that's why we didn't want to come out. You know what I'm saying? You know, with that
Yeah.
right there, I keep thinking about when that chick did that and said that. I said to myself, okay, there's not a lot of stuff that gets my heart pumping, but okay, like I said, my child is missing. You have no rights to talk to. I don't care what I did and why you
Right.
got him or whatever, but we're here. And then you're gonna sit up there like you done did something special, like I need to be bowed down to you because you know, you making it sound like I'm the reason why you did something bad to my children. I'm not the reason why. Now, I might be the reason why they were in the system, or I didn't do what I needed to do. I couldn't get myself together because of whatever. You know what I'm saying? Drugs or whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
But you have no rights after taking my child's life to sit there and be like, this is why. I'm telling you, I would have lost it. You know.
I was surprised that somebody from that family didn't jump on her, but
Well,
again,
you know, they was
they
holding
were
that
surrounded by police. They were surrounded by police.
Well, you know, the mama was there and they was holding that mama, and she did lose it. She did lose it. She did. She was like, no, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she was just
Right.
shaking and everything, and she did lose it. She did. The mama did, you know, but I'm just saying, you know, I just couldn't keep my composure, and you know, I would have been like, this is it. Lord, I'd be like, for instance, you know, like, here I come.
I'm coming, Jesus. But I'm bringing somebody with me.
Yeah, I'm bringing somebody. I'm bringing two people with me. Hey, this is SP. Go ahead.
Hi, Axie.
Hi.
This is PJ. Just keeping it real. I'm watching you, and I agree with what you said because they should have did something to her. It couldn't have been me. I lost my grandbaby Axie in 2004 because of a mishap of doctors. And when they told me my grandbaby was gone, they told me I jumped a bitch, and I grabbed that doctor, and they had to take me off of him. And when I let him go, my son grabbed him. You understand what I'm saying? It's for them to stand there with their lies. They came in the gate lying about these kids, and it's hurting me to my heart because I lost a grandbaby. And this doesn't make no sense. And DCF needs to be investigated because if they remove 2 children from that house, I adopted one of my grandsons. He's 30 years old now. If they remove those 2 children, they should have never replaced those other 2 children in her home. Period.
Exactly. Exactly.
I went to training. I was a foster mother. I got my grandson. He was 12 years old. I adopted him at 14. He's 32 years old. There's no reason for DCF to sit back and not answer these questions. These babies been missing for 17 months.
Exactly.
They don't care. It's like they don't care. It hurts me to my heart. I had to jump in. Yeah, if she was in New York, I couldn't care if the National Guard was there. They should have tore her ass up. Excuse my language. Because she sat there, she came in the gate lying, it couldn't have been me.
Right.
I don't care who was standing there. I have 3 grandchildren. God bless me 6 years later with my second, my third grandson. Okay, after I lost that one. Right. They had no remorse for these kids, SP.
Right.
I would get on the train after I lost my grandbaby, and when I would see kids, I would break down and cry. It hurt me so bad.
Right.
It took me years, and we still live every day with, I call him Puka. We live him, he lived with us every day. He would have been 19 years old, and it still hurts.
Right.
So for these kids, people to think and go for
Right.
It hurts. These kids deserve to live.
Mm.
I pray to God nothing never happened to mine because I'm going to jail. You heard me?
Yeah.
And they don't need to put the murderers in no protective custody. For what? Who protected these innocent babies? Who?
Exactly.
Who protected them? They don't deserve to be in protective custody. They deserve to get just what they deserve. They had the nerve to walk for 17 months free, knowing these kids, knowing what they did to these kids.
Right.
I felt it from the beginning, but I just wanted to believe that these kids would still get with us.
Yeah.
You know, it hurts.
Yeah.
And it needs to stop. And DCF, ACS, PCS, everybody should be held responsible when they placing these kids in these murderers' hands. DCF need to come up and speak up and tell us why they placed these two babies in this home when they had already removed two kids. You're not supposed to do that. One of my nieces is a director over an agency in New York.
Right.
I know the protocol. They
What?
should have never placed them with the West family. Never.
Never.
They didn't have an income.
Right.
When I took my grandson, they wanted me to put him on PA. I told them I wasn't going to do it. I work every day, you know, until I retired.
Right.
But then you're going to place these kids with someone without an income?
Yeah. I
And
can.
they wind up there no longer here, these babies? It hurts.
I couldn't understand it. And that was, you know, and maybe that was their plan of how they were going to just get all this income, you know?
Exactly. That's what a lot of people go for the income. If you don't care for these kids, and not only that, they could have gave them kids back to the agency.
Right.
They could have returned them kids to the agency. I don't care if they was adopted. If you felt that you didn't want them kids in your home anymore, they could have been returned to the agency. There was no reason for these kids to not to be on the face of this earth. 3 and 4 years old, it hurts because it wouldn't have been my family. Okay, I would personally pay them a visit in jail because I would have to do them in. I pray to God nothing happened to my other 3. I have 3. 10,
Right.
8, and 5.
Right.
And I pray every day for mine.
Right.
Because no way. I'm a grandmother, and I'm 66 years old, and I'll go to jail for any one of mine. You know, we got to be careful, even in the school system. We got to keep praying for these babies. You understand? Because they're not safe anywhere.
Right.
You know? And God bless you. Like I said, I hope they slow roast in hell. I don't want them to burn. I want them to slow roast in hell.
Exactly.
For doing what they did to these kids.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Whoa, she said she don't want them to burn. She want them to slow roast. Whoo. Man, I mean, sometimes when I think about it, you guys, it just it makes me sick. It really does. No more phone calls. I wanna thank and for Lakendra, she got 2 tickets right here, 938-353. 2 tickets. I want to thank you, appreciate you for the super chat. ITT, she coming on the channel, and Lakendra did too. 938-348 ITT, your name on the back. And then we got Jennifer Cooley. Thank you for the super chat, 938-352. Jennifer, you're in there. Please, Freddie, write down the mods that's in the building, because this was mod day. I told you guys whatever mods came in the building, and then we'll do the drawing come Monday. You guys, I'm finna get out of here. Thank you guys for showing up. If you guys want to talk more about this, just hit me up. Just send me a text message. You ain't got to call me, but just send me a text message and tell me what you want to do, because this is the channel where we will talk about it, you guys. So once again, I want to thank all of you guys for showing up, and it's been interesting. It really has. All right, you guys, be good, be safe, and be nice to each other. Bye. Oh, I see you, Judy. I'll get you in there before I get off of here. See, y'all be coming up at the last minute. I almost hit that button, girl. Judy said, I'm in the building. I want to double thank Judy. She made things possible. So I want to thank Judy for going to go get the indictment for me. So thank you, Judy, because I couldn't read it, the one that I had, and she made it possible that I can get it. All right. So I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, you guys, I'll see you later.